Well, this is a review I am doing for my SCS. This is called a Luxley Snuggle chair. And as you can see by what's on it, my knitting, and I have an ocean pouch there, and just the crochet things you can see on it's in my workroom, and that's what I do, knitting and crocheting that. So I'm just going to give you a review. This is a review for anyone who might be thinking about going to SCS to buy anything, because there is a complaints page on Facebook. I will put the picture up of their page off Facebook just to show you. So this is the couch. I call it a couch, they call it a chair, but it is much wider than a chair. And I have bought from SCS before, about 15 years ago. I bought a 3-piece leather suite. Had no problems with it whatsoever. So that was what made me go to SCS for this one. But I'm going to take the things off here to show you a lot more of it. And I have two, as you can see, there's room for 2 people to sit on it, as by the cushions. You know, if it was just a chair there'd only be room for 1 cushion, but it's not a chair, it is a couch. In my words, it's a couch. And while these are 2 cushions that came with it, this one and that one, when you put them behind your back to rest on, it's like resting on a brick. That's so hard, you can see I can hardly push that in. That's why I have this one here, because this one is much softer, and that's the one I lean against when I'm on here. So I'm going to take that off because it's nothing to do with SCS. And I will also take my blanket off here as well. I keep the blanket on to keep it clean. And I have a few crumbs on from what I've been eating. Push them on the floor and vacuum them off later. So that is how it looks, how it came into my room. Now, when the young fellas, there was 2 nice fellas, delivered it, and I'm finding, oh, that's part of there must be something on the back. Oh, I've still got a label on the back there. I thought I had left some wool on the back, but it's not. But 2 nice fellas that delivered it, and they opened it up. They took all the covering off on my drive, and I knew as soon as they started taking the covering off there was something wrong, but I didn't see anything. I let them take it all off and that, and then told them where it was going. And they came up my stairs. They didn't know that they had stairs to it, because when I was asked in the shop, they just said if I lived in a flat or in a house. So I told them I lived in a self-contained house. Never thought about the stairs, but anyway, they said they weren't expecting to come upstairs, but they said that they looked okay, they managed all right, so they didn't argue about it, which was, I thought, was nice of them. So they came up and they got all the pieces of it. They put the feet on and everything and set it up against the wall here where it is now, where I wanted it. And what did I think? And I said, that's not what I ordered. A look of shock on their faces. You mean you've let us unpack it all? I says, no, look it before you see anything else. I let you unpack it because I'm quite happy with it, even though it's not what I ordered. And he looked at the order thing and said, well, this is a Luxley Snuggle chair. I says, yes, that's what I wanted, the Luxley Snuggle chair, but I says I did not order that colour. And he's looking and he says, well, you know, I says, I ordered something that was brown, like it wasn't too dark brown, but it had flecks of white and cream in it. That's what I had ordered. But actually, when I saw what you brought, I wasn't bothered. I rather liked the colour, so I'm not going to complain about it. I'll keep it. And I think they were very happy about that, because I don't know whether they would have had to take it back into the thing, but I've heard that once something is in your house, it's yours. But anyway, I have had this since Wednesday, so that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today. 6 days, but it's actually been used for 5 days. And I noticed something while it's one single cushion all the way along here. I sat in the centre most of the time, and this is in the very centre of it. And I noticed the first day it was sort of like a little dip in the centre. The next day that dip was a little bit more, it was further down. And while I have had 3-piece suites before, that's similar cloth and just foam in here, you do get that. So I wasn't complaining about that, but when I've had 3-piece suites before, they have been separate cushions. They've been like, with this being a meant for 2 people to sit together to snuggle on, that's why it's called a snuggle chair. You only need the one cushion, which I'm quite happy with, but I have had to compromise. Instead of sitting in the centre, I sit in the centre one day, I sit on this side another day, and then I sit on the other side, and that stops me getting a dip in the middle because it evens it out. But when you have a 3-piece suite, you have 5 cushions. And what I used to do when I've had this sort of suite is I used to change the cushions around, because usually there was only me and my husband, so there was only 2 cushions being used most of the time, because after my kids had left home, there was only 2 of us in the house. And then my husband died 10 years ago. It's almost 11 actually. So now there's only me. So I just, on my 3-piece suite, I just keep changing those cushions around every so often. About once a week I'll change the cushions all around, and so that they all get used evenly, and it works out much better. So that's what I've been doing with this. Once I realised I was getting a dip in the middle, it was going to get worse. So I started sitting on that side and then that side and then in the middle, and just keep changing round. Each day I sit in a different place, so that I'm not in one place all the time. But to show you a bit more of it, I'll take the cushions off. It does come off, and it is zipped all the way along here, so if necessary the new foam could be put in if that was absolutely necessary. And then I have a thing here to give you all instructions for the upkeep of it, I suppose. That must be the material, bits of the material. And it is sprung, this is sprung here. So this is not going to go down like the foam on there. So one 3-piece suite I did have with the same kind of cushions. I bought something to put along, I can't remember what it was called, but it was a piece along the bottom that the cushion sat on top of, and that stopped it doing any damage further down the thing. So I am quite happy with it, even though I do have to keep changing places. But as a warning to anyone, there are an awful lot. Put the hose back in. An awful lot of complaints on SCS. They have actually been taken over by an Italian firm, and I think a lot of their furniture used to be made in this country, but now I think it's abroad. It could be coming from China, and that's maybe why they're getting such a lot of complaints. But I will put the Facebook page, just a picture of it up so you can look for yourself if you're ever thinking about going to SCS. So as you can see, when I'm sitting on it, there is plenty of room for to move around. So I sit here in the centre, and then I'll sit here that side or that side. But for anyone wanting to know, this little couch, I call it a couch, it's not a chair. It cost me £589 plus £119 for delivery, which I was foaming at. I think that is absolutely disgusting. And I know the salesman, when I was buying it, he very sheepishly told me after I had done everything, you know, signed everything, what the delivery charge was. And he said, "You do know it's £119? And I said, "No, I didn't know." But I says, "I've got no other way of getting it. There's no one got anything big enough to put it in." I says, "My son could have done that, but he doesn't live up here." So that's just a warning for anyone who's thinking about going to SCS. Take a look on that Facebook page, the SCS sofa and furniture complaints, and see all the complaints about practically everything you can imagine that you can buy in SCS. I've never seen any complaints about this, which if I had found that page first, there was no way I would ever have went to SCS for anything ever again. I was quite happy with the three-piece suite I bought all those years ago, but I think it was a different shop and owned by different people then. So anyway, that's my review on the Luxley, the SCS Luxley Snuggle chair. And I don't care what they say, it's not a chair, it's a small sofa. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.